Guys, welcome back to CN Silver Creek Subdivision. This is the layout update for, what month are we in? Oh dear. For January of 2025. There is some tidbits in here from the Amherst Big E train show. Not a whole lot, but a couple videos and a couple pictures anyway. And then the beginning here is just some clips from the last operating session. So with that said, that car you just saw that looks pretty neat. That's one of our members had custom 3D printed. So it's based off a prototype of a place in Cambridge, Ontario. It's called Innovative Steam. They make steam generators and they ship them in those big steel boxes. So Dave was in customer service, I guess. I have to ask when he actually was, but anyway, he facilitated these moves and stuff like that. So he had the blueprints for it, as well as a couple other really cool loads that are still in the pipeline here, but he had them made, so that's kind of neat. We'll be seeing these show up like finished, like painted and weathered here in the next couple months anyway. The crossing's in, which is cool. I'll cover that later on here in the video. This is the voiceover part I'm doing, and the last half of the video I did live. I was just up there, so yeah. With that said, not a whole lot happening this month. Still fairly good progress in the right direction, which you're going to see here in a little bit anyway. But yeah, the crossing is pretty cool. I can't remember what I talked about in the part where I didn't do the voiceover, so I don't want to repeat myself here. So we'll just watch some trains for a little bit, and then I'll chime in when I need to talk about some stuff. I just have to say, that is such a sweet pair of units. This here is a trio. I think they're all Dave's. The first one is. I did that for Dave. One of the Daves. Now that we have two at the club. That's what I call a super fade, where I mask off everything and then I actually fade the red down with like a pink, and then take all the extras off. So it's actually like a paint job over the red to turn it to pink. So I'm pretty proud of those ones. Okay, so here you go. So this is on our way back from Amherst. Actually, there's another video of the way out. That's on the other side of the road, but this is, I think this is I-90, I think. No, not quite at I-90. I don't really know my roads in the U.S. that well, but this is over the Hudson River, and this bridge is probably a mile long, and CSX's main line, which we found out later, is right beside it here, and you're probably a couple hundred feet in the air. It was, honestly, it was one of the highlights of the trip. But to appreciate it, you honestly have to see it in person. It was absolutely just impressive. All right, so here's just some little shots of what was happening. Here's the new Bowser 40-2WY cab. So pretty excited about this guy. I ordered the one they did that was a robot, or belt pack. I call them robots, but belt packed equipped. So it's neat to see those running around. So here's some photos Adam took. That's a retaining wall made out of hoppers. Just some crossings, you know. Here's the Bowser 40-2W again. So you can see the lighting package is pretty comprehensive on these guys. Pretty excited about it. Pretty cool viaduct here. Yeah, like there was a whole building just filled full of model railways. It was pretty impressive. That's Ray, or no, it's from around the Layout podcast, the diorama for his booth. Yeah, there was lots to see though. We were there for 2 days, a day and a half anyway. It's almost overwhelming though. It's just so much to see, but there was lots of inspiration here, that's for sure. Isn't that pretty?
It is pretty.
The Hudson River. Dude, that is incredible.
It is.
There's signals on the bridge, look at it. Yeah, so that was my initial reaction. You can tell I was pretty impressed. Yeah, there's lots of stuff to look at here. Adam took most of these pictures, then sent them to me. There's lots of inspiration here. There's really very, very skilled modelers all over the world. So it was nice to see such a dense concentration of them here at Amherst. And these are all mobile layouts, right? These aren't even in somebody's basement. So now here's the samples of the other versions of the 40-2W. So dynamic, non-dynamic, etc. So yeah, I'm pretty pumped for these. I only got one, like I said. So, but I think Bowser's onto something pretty cool here. These were all laser cut kits put together, and these trains are massive. Like that one on the top's like 6 feet long. There's the prototypes from Roca Models, their new tank car they're going to release. Yeah, there was a bridge there for a main line, and they took it out but left the hole. It was kind of neat. Yeah, same scene again. So I was just looking at this for inspiration to Maisie, with the same kind of tunnel portal. These guys lit up these trailers. There's like 20 LEDs on each trailer. It looked pretty sweet. Yeah, just more really cool scenery. And I mean, you could have taken thousands of photos. So it was a really good time though. My diamond, right? Doesn't go anywhere, but just to put it in there. Just cool stuff like that.
All right, guys. This is part of the What's New on the Layout segment. I'm doing this one live because I'm running out of time. As always, I apologize. I'm just such a busy dude. So I'm going to try and make this short and sweet for this part anyway. I'm using the gimbal. I'll try to not move too fast for everybody. First up, if the lights will come on. There you go. This was the engine that Adam bought me because he is just a nice guy and wanted to say thanks for all the hard work I do. And he saw a deal on it, so he picked it up, and then I did my thing to it. So this one got the window gaskets. Oh, it's shiny. Window gaskets done, reflective striping. Adam put a scale sound speaker in it and speed matched it before he gave it to me, so that was pretty cool of him. And then this guy, I did a little bit of prototype fading on. I faded the flag down. Light bleaching around on the top and stuff, but just a tier 4 Gevo. But she definitely turned out, she's pretty sweet, I gotta say. I'm pretty happy with it. Grill work, which I'm always proud of. I think the sharper the grills are, the better it looks, right? It keeps that realism, so. Anyway, yeah, there's that guy. So he's new to layout this month. And the background here, I'll explain what we're looking at here in a couple minutes. So that's that one. Oh, actually, there we go. Let's move this guy out of the way and we'll talk about the couple of cars behind him. Oh, of course he shuts off. I'm just using the NC throttle here, not the Proto throttle. There he goes. Always sounds cool in a tunnel, huh? All right, I'll shut him down. Shh, go to sleep. There we go. All right, next new on the layout here is, there we go. This is a car I bought from Home Shops LLC. It's Fictional Railway, the Canadian Atlantic Railway. It's owned by Stephen Reeves. I do some custom work for him once in a while, so I thought I'd pick one up and support those guys. I just did the wheels and the couplers on it, and then put reflective safety striping on it, just to kind of show, because these cars are old. So I thought maybe they just bought it from CN, because CN's starting to sell them off to NKLX and FURX. So yeah, just kind of make it look like it just got a fresh paint job, and she's just in service with her last couple years of life on her. That one's mine. These are both Intermountain cars that were done by Preston Stinger. Adam bought these. He's had them at home for a while. They are absolutely amazing. He really does crazy work. So sorry the lighting's not good over here. I just don't have time to go to the bridge and do all that stuff this time. So we'll have to make do this time. Anyway, lighting better like that? Yeah, not really. All right, so that's that. I got one more surprise for you. All right, then this little beauty here. So this is CN 4937. This is one of the GP38Ns that CN recently bought and had repainted. It's like 95% correct. I missed a couple little things. There's some grab irons underneath the number board on the conductor's side, which I didn't take the shell apart. This was an IC 94, whatever they are, from like the run that's probably 5 years old. So I changed the snowplow. I changed the fuel tank. What else did I do? Oh, dynamic brake, or the dynamic brake hatch here. So that's an extended range dynamic brake hatch, and then I added the extra exhaust on it. I added the full, wrong way guys, sorry. The full Mack rail treatment on top. I couldn't really find too many pictures of it, but it looks pretty close, I think. Added a plethora of decals. I stripped all the old stuff off of it. That's a new CN noodle because it was in the wrong spot. This guy actually had somebody go up and remove the CN.ca on him. That's why if you see pictures of it earlier, it had the CN.ca. And then if you look at it later, it does not, because it got vandalized by some cool cat. What else did I do? That horn. It's a pretty cool horn in a bracket. It's got a Leslie, I think is what it's called on there. It doesn't have one in real life, but I didn't have the time to cut her apart and solder a K3, I think it is, on there. So, you know, again, I try to do the best I can with my own stuff based on the time. I got a lot of stuff going on. I did cut the fans out, though, and put new fans in. I can't tell you where I got the fans from because they came from a friend of mine and I've been sworn to secrecy, but I did cut them out. It's the first time I've done it, and it turned out pretty well. What else did I do? You got an E-bell right there. Like the prototype. And then I added an air dryer to the back because it has the large fuel tank, so they can't fit it underneath. The weathering is pretty straightforward, obviously. It's almost brand new. Except for the back. It's super black, and I know this because I had this unit paired with CN 7081 6 months ago. The 7081 was blowing oil and smoke out, so it covered the ass end of this, just made it black. So I gave it a little spray there. Decoder Buddy, scale sound system speakers, ESU Power Pack Mini, Lock 5, added ground lights, and the normal stuff I do. So yeah, it's pretty cool just to have a 4900 out here because nobody's made them, and it really sucks because you had to use like 3 different engines worth of parts and put it all together. So yeah, but overall she's pretty sweet. Got an awesome horn on it. Yeah, so he'll be in some videos coming up soon. So now the 4900 series can start to populate here on the Silver Creek side. Okay, new stuff. We had one LED burn out on one of our signals, the green one, I think up at Silver Creek West. Adam's not sure if it was his fault or it happened, but it is the first one to burn out. So I got a hold of David Liu there at We On The Signals, who's awesome. And yeah, we got some replacements. So we got a whole box of stuff here. I got some extras just in case. I did go to Springfield with Adam. Met lots of people. It was cool to have my work known, which was pretty flattering. But I did talk to the Signal Logics guy, and him and his buddy, they also deal with David Liu at We Honest. So I think David's doing a really good job starting to saturate the market. They are really, really, really great signals, and he will build them whatever way you need them to be built. If you know, if you know what orientation of signals you need. Most people don't, right? Because you guys aren't railroaders, but there's a certain set of signals, and a 3/3/2 or a 1/3 all that stuff has a reason for it. So if you're into that stuff, he'll build them for you at no extra cost. So he's definitely a good guy to check out. That's wehonest.net. Great guy to deal with. Finds from the show at Amherst are, I didn't really buy a lot in regards to like stuff for me. I bought a lot of stuff for the club, more or less, but I did pick up another one of these little rail elevators for $40, which is not too bad. We already have one, but another one wouldn't hurt. And then, I use Macrail stuff all the time because I've dealt with Greg for a long time. He's a good dude. But Chris Wallace from Wallace Locomotive Works, he had these, so we thought we'd give them a go. These are all different SBUs. So we picked those up. So we should be good on Freddy's for a while, even though they keep on mysteriously disappearing. And then I got this from ISE, from Iowa Skill Engineering. They're the people who make the Proto Throttle. It's little track cleaner pad, so we'll give that a go. I also bought enough stuff for crossings, logics, and lights to fully animate and do the rest of the crossings. So the crossing over here, which we've dubbed Weber Street now, the next couple months, it's going to have working gates and sensors, and it should work with the approach out of the yard here too. We've got that figured out, so it'll be pretty neat here. And then obviously for the one on the other side of the wall right here at Oak. So we have all that too. I have all the logics. We bought all that stuff. We bought the gates. We bought the infrared sensors. We bought the everything. So it was kind of expensive, but I was glad to invest it back into our club for that. I did take not a lot of pictures and videos from the Amherst show. There is a couple of cool shots of us on our way to Amherst that Adam and I caught. Some pictures there, a couple of videos, but really it was way too busy. So I'll patch those into a little montage probably after this clip right here. Now let's move on to what we got done. So we ripped out the Y and resequenced it a little bit here. So the Y used to, obviously, come on camera, used to go where you can see the track there underneath the truck and the tank car. We cut that switch out. And just straight railed it. So around from here now, we're dubbing this the Joplin spur. We just had a vote in our little group chat. I like to have votes so people get to choose stuff, so it's not always me. So starting right here, that was the east leg of the Y, but now it's the Joplin spur. And we put all code 83 in because we're going to do that with the majority of the track on the layout. Then this got leveled out. This was Adam, and we have a new member too, David. You might know him from the THB Waterford sub. We're glad to have him. He and Adam did that, and then laid this in. This is just going to be, it's going to make propane for the giant grain elevator here, but I realized that we're taking loads in, so the grain's already dry. So we don't need a grain dryer. So this might just be a little co-op off to the side just to not have one customer here on the Joplin spur. So, this is going to be a big grain terminal. I did pick up 3 more sets of these things here, of these bins, so there will be 10 total. Not sure if this is like the final orientation of the elevator. I don't even know that yet. All I know is that the pit's going to be right here somewhere. So the idea is that they're going to spot up 3 tracks. It holds 20, 19, and 19, so almost 60 cars. That's up to 9,500 tons of grain, which is a lot. So they'll grab a track and then pull it past the pit and shove it back in, grab another one. And they can do that with, maybe I'll build them a little locomotive, or we'll just get them a track mobile or whatever. So, but that's all in. I finished wiring it today. And and then Hunter again there, he laid this all in with Pool, and they did a great job. It's very, very straight. So yeah, that's what's new over here. And we'll move on to the next thing. Okay, so this little road out here in the branch line now has crossing gates. You can see that there's a light on, kind of there's a bleed through. So this is our first crossing. The other Dave did this one. He's done a great job on it, so that'll be rectified, and then this should work pretty well. For right now, it's just 2 sensors. There's an approach, and then near the road, and then the exit. And it actually works pretty well. I'll get it going here for you. So the first one's right there. There you go. So the other thing that's cool too about this is that if you cross that approach circuit and then you don't make it to the one at the island, as we call it, the island is one on each side of the road, and it is right. Oh, it's like right at the road, like right there. So it'll time out at 35 seconds. So if you get stopped or whatever, you got to do whatever. If you get stopped or you're switching, it'll time out so they don't stay on. And then if you have to go forward again, you have to get up onto the circuit, which is kind of prototypical for real life like this. I mean, timing circuits are pretty advanced these days, but some of them are like this still, so it's kind of neat. So you have to crawl up onto it. If I can do this without a proto throttle. Come on. I don't know how close it is. It must be right up on it. There you go. Right up on it. Wait for 20 seconds. No. We're having some sensitivity issues with it still. It's only been a month, so. There you go. More or less. Dave just installed it. There's still some bugs to work out. He was talking to the guys in Springfield as well, so it's gonna work well, I think. So it's kind of neat. It just animates it, and that's got the acquisition of the other parts to get the rest of the crossings done kind of other way. While I have you here, these little guys here, I built and painted some of these. I got them from NAFTA, scale models. So I was actually looking for switch machines, and then I ended up buying a whole bunch of stuff. So they just come in a 3D. They're just 3D printed. You put them together. They're not very difficult. And then you put some decals on them and stuff, and yeah, kind of adds to it. So we're starting to move towards this side of the, of the layout here with things happening and scenery starting, final track plans, all that stuff. So that's cool. Yeah, I'll try to rush on to the next one here. All right, next up, not those. They're pretty, but it's not those. Corey Adams' dad here. I had him rebuild all these. So, with the advent of the locomotive cards, we needed more pockets. So now there's pockets everywhere. We finished all the pockets for all of them. We made some new ones. I cut some other ones out, but moved them around. But now every track has the card pocket, which makes it they're hidden all over the place too. So now there's a place for all of them. Not a big deal, but it takes time, right? Change the jobs around again. So now I've based it on a... here. Where's the first one? So I based it on working 9 to 5. Or 9 to 6. So that's our operating session. We're going to start 9 o'clock our time. And then we'll go to like 5 or 6. So now you only have 2 hours to run your train. I've made it just so after 2 hours you have to tie it down in the main or whatever. So yeah, it should be. We haven't done one yet. We're gonna do one this weekend. So hopefully all my planning here and all these rules and structure I put in doesn't just blow up the operating session. We'll see. I think it'll work well, but it adds some more order to it. It's kind of like, and now they don't all just, so they start at different times, right? So if you're done the first job, which is like 9 to 11:30. And then you want to, once you're done, which is cool. But if you're done and then the next job doesn't come up till 11:45, say, it's only 11, now you have to sit around and wait, which is kind of nice because before it was just like, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. So now there's a bit more structure to it. So it should make it, it should make it a little more I don't know, just not so rushy. The more everything I can do to add more, to make every job and every locomotive and every car have more purpose than just being a model in the layout. You know, like the car cards really added that. The CTC really added that. Now the locomotive cards. So it's not just so much a model as it has meaning behind it. I feel like it just adds the whole experience. So if that makes sense to you, right on. If it's just me rambling along, then that's okay too, right? So, but yeah, I like to add all this stuff to it. Oh, what else do we have? I got about 7 minutes left here before I have to run, so I'm really trying to squeeze her all in. All right, just a quick little blurb about this big spider-looking thing here. So obviously this is a router. And the one we had before was a used one that we got because obviously to try and buy all these electronics and do this all, even with the 4 or 5 people we have, is still just a lot of money, right? And we've come pretty far in a short time. So the old router, I think, so we were losing, the proto throttle would just drop when we were doing operating sessions, where all of a sudden you wouldn't have it. Like it wouldn't do anything. So you had to come over to here, to this guy, the Wi-Fi receiver. You have to hit the button, and then it would sync it back up, and all of a sudden it'd be okay again. It's not on right now, so don't pay attention to the lights, but that's what you had to do. And now we haven't tested it with all the people yet, but we think the router had some problems. It was used. It was a free one we got, so it was just it was like probably 15 years old. So I went out and got this bad boy with all the antennas, and we'll see if that stops that problem. Hopefully. I'll keep you posted in the next one for that. So this guy's pretty cool too. I made a custom startup sequence for this guy. So it's sourced from the real ones. I'll let you hear it here. Oops, sorry. Yeah, so any of these, this is a Dash 3, just so you guys know. A Dash 3 is just a Dash 2 that had the logic circuits ripped out of it, and it uses a microprocessor now for traction and power application and all that kind of stuff, and Y-tronics and all that kind of things. So it's just an upgrade from more older style circuits for everything inside the locomotive to a microprocessor driven one is more or less what a Dash 3 is. So they load a bit slower, but their adhesion to the track's a bit better. There's pros and cons to all of them, but anyway, the Dash 3 upgrades that CN's been doing to all their most of their 40s and 38s, they got the is it ZTR? I can't remember what it says in the cab, but anyway, that's what the Smart Start sounds like in all of them. So after they go to sleep, that's the sequence they run through before they start up. So I thought it'd be neat to install one in there. I just found the proper box within the ESU, the prime mover file, and then made my own and just found the right spot for it after a little bit of trial and error. It really wasn't that hard. So with that said, I have lots of other footage from the last operating session, from the trip to Springfield. There's a couple shots there and some other stuff I'm going to put in the video. So as far as myself talking live, that's all for this one here. I'm not sure I'm going to edit this yet, but there's one more thing I wanted to say. Oh, right. If you guys have watched Boomer Dioramas, he did a layout tour more or less a couple weeks ago, and I was really inspired by that. I like that. He really I'll take this off here. Come on, off with you. He really tried to make the emotional connection to this, why he picked what he did, and the scenes. Oh dear, I hit it too many times. I'll get away from him. All the scenes and what they meant to him, and where he got the emotional tie to it, and the inspiration, and what he was trying to capture, and selective compression, and on, because that's what he does, and he's just awesome to listen to. So with that said, I've had a couple requests for a layout tour, and I haven't done a cab ride yet since CTC's been in. So in the next month and a half or so, I'm going to I had this idea that I'm going to do a cab ride. We'll go along the whole layout, the whole branch, everything. And then when we get to a spot, we'll step out of the cab, and I'll just grab my phone here, I'll put it on a tripod so you guys aren't all dizzy following me around, and then I'll just talk about it. And we'll try to do the whole layout. So every customer and the main line and where we're going, and we'll just bring the train down nice and easy. We'll get out of the cab together and we'll have a little talk about the spot and where I got the inspiration from for it. Because this is proto freelance, but a lot of it is based on places in real life. So I'll try to do that for you guys here in the next month and a half or so. It'll take a little bit. And again, I'm just one of those guys who's always busy, but I'd like to get that going for you anyway. So if this is the last clip when I edit it, thanks guys. Cheers and happy modeling.